Alright, so we got the new armor plate all done up, and we've kind of made a hole. We really trashed this one in order to accommodate the new one. So what we did is we took a piece, as I said before. We had to take the part, we had to cut it in half, swap the parts around, and glued them together so we had one solid piece through the middle, whereas this one, it was the two pieces joined here. Okay, I know it's a bit rough here, but it really is not going to matter. Shouldn't matter. Famous last words. But anyway, the part, as I said in the last video, started here, and I had to cut and scribe and bend and wrap it around this way, and it joined here, which was really an odd place for it to join. And it had this big gap. Really, it should have probably joined here, but I didn't design it. But anyway, it had this big gap here. Okay, I joined the gap together, and I know it's sloppy, but it's just holding it in place. And I cut out the railgun bays, okay, and I made them extra wide and deep. Okay, and then what I did is with the second part, we cut out holes in the armor plate for the guns. Okay, so when this is matted to this piece, and I'll show you in a little bit, there'll be some depth. The thickness of the card will look like the thickness of the plate on a boat, on a ship. Then we cut three sides of the image of these inlets. Okay, cut the three and pushed it through, and then using this part here, okay, printed up a whole bunch of copies of it, cut here, here, and across to make a wall like that right there, that piece of the wall. Okay, and then we glued them in place, and that's how they look in place. So now we've got actual, just like the actual ship, we've got these nice cool spots. It looks pretty cool. So now we're going to take this. What I'll eventually do is we're going to glue around here, well, not here, but these spots here, all along here, and we're going to slide this in and glue this into place, just like such. And then we got our new plate, and as you can see here, okay, this is where the larger guns are going to sit, and they're going to sit in this recess. And again, it gives just a little bit of dimension having the thickness of the card there. So that's where we're at for right now. The thing that really sucks is I got to do it all over again for the other side. This is kind of time consuming, but having gone through it and figured out how to do it, I think the next one shouldn't take as long. But that's where we're at. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I'm going to have to do here. If you go back and look at any references of the Berzerk itself, the guns are sitting about here, so I'm going to have to make a platform to go in here. I'm thinking, you know, a platform about where the flat's here, and a gun will sit on top. It'll come out and back down inside. But I have to get to that. But that's what she looks like. Not too bad. I'm actually kind of stoked the way it came out. When I first started cutting into here, and it was getting flimsy and floppy, and it was getting ugly, I was really nervous. But it turns out in the end, it's going to work. It looks like it's going to work out pretty well. And of course, if I really did screw it up and it didn't work, I just print out another copy and build it the way it's supposed to, just like I did with the head of the beast here. You know, this was my second go, and it worked out pretty good. You know, just, it's very forgiving in that way. I mean, the paper's not forgiving, but the ability to recreate it is easy. So anyway, be right back. Alright, here we are with the Battlestar Berzerk. I went out, a couple updates. First, I went out and I was looking for some gray or yeah, some gray pencils or markers, because I wanted to do the edging, because I had cut and scribed and you had these white lines everywhere. I really couldn't find exactly what I was looking for, so I ended up, instead of holding off anymore, what I did is I took and I used the charcoal craft acrylic, which is a nice gray, and went over with a fine brush over all the edgings throughout all the parts on the kit. And basically I would use the fine brush, I would put a little bit of paint on the edges and then just wipe it and blend it in along the way. Because majority of the kit is gray, it blended fairly well, and what marks and streaks were left kind of looks like it belongs there, weathering and so forth like that. So it looks pretty good. So I'm just about ready to assemble it. One of the other things that I had done, if you remember, I was working on these ribs, the sides of the ship, and we got them all done. So we've got, basically it's 2 layers of card here. We got the bottom layer we cut up so we could fit these ribs in. We've made the back side, as you saw. We now also have platforms in here that are going to hold the rail guns, and then we have a nice insert here along the edges, you know, between the card, where we're going to put the larger guns. Also, to add some definition, I printed out another part sheet, cut that one up, and added these pieces, these plates, just to give it a 3D type effect to it, okay? You know, just some dimension to the sides. So those are ready to go. I want to assemble it, and then I'll put the guns in place. I said we did all the edging, got rid of the white. Oh, the 2 things I really still have to do to the head. I want to put the 2 main cannons in the front here. For that, I happen to find these stir sticks from the local 7-Eleven. You know, get yourself some coffee, put this in, stir it all up. So I got a couple of these. I'm going to paint these up and put them into place. They look like they should be about the right scale. The question is will I leave it just a straight shaft, or can I find something to detail the edges? If you remember back on the other pictures of the Berzerk, it had some detail on the gun itself. Honestly, I haven't given it that much thought yet, but I do want to get these installed, painted and installed, so I don't have to worry about them. After that, oh yeah, we still have to work. I want to do a adjust the way the nameplate is on the ship. I was toying with this. I took from the old head that I had screwed up. From this piece here I screwed up. I cut the nameplate out and kind of folded it up, and the idea is I want to put it like such. But I really didn't do a good job cutting this out, so probably got to print another one and do that. But I can still move forward without it for right now. But this is just an idea. The edging here is no good, and I got to figure out how to do the sides better. So we'll get back to that too. But for now, I said it's going to drill the nose, put in the guns, and we're going to start assembling this sucker. I'm really kind of eager to get it together and see how it looks. We still have a couple more parts to cut out though that I haven't done yet, and that is the engine ducting. There is some duct work that's going to come out of the engines, and then it's going to go down into the spine of the ship. So it's going to be something like this, actually here, and you'll see some duct work coming out of the engine here and going into the spine, but I can still do that later. So that's it for now. I'll be right back.